Should you lease or should you buy is a question facing every driver in the market for a new car. It's an important question to ask and a surprisingly contentious topic with staunch advocates on both sides. In this video, we're going to lay out the pros and cons of both leasing and buying a car so that you can make an informed decision that best suits your individual needs. But before we do this, let's define what your options are. Leasing is an agreement you make with a dealership where you regularly make payments to use the vehicle for a set period of time, typically 36 to 48 months. At the end of your term, you can either choose to purchase the vehicle or return it for a newer model. There are two paths you can take towards vehicle ownership. One is financing, which is where you take out a loan for a vehicle and then repay that loan through monthly payments. The second option is to pay for the entire vehicle up front with no monthly payments. So which of these options is right for you? Let's start with leasing. One of the main perks to leasing is that you get a new car every few years. So if you're a car person who loves the latest technology and high-end performance, leasing will help satisfy your urge to drive on the cutting edge of automobile technology. Leasing is cheaper in the short term, so people with tight or uncertain cash flow would benefit from lower monthly payments. That being said, leasing is almost always more expensive in the long term. Leasing can be more flexible. If you move a lot or aren't ready to commit to long-term vehicle ownership, no problem. Just lease. Now, there are a few catches, namely mileage and wear and tear agreements. Your lease will usually include a strict kilometer limit, which if exceeded will result in large financial penalties. In addition to this, not taking care of your vehicle and exceeding what is considered normal wear and tear may result in further penalties. Finally, ending the lease early can be both challenging and costly with early termination fees and stipulations. Okay, let's move on to financing and owning. A massive benefit to financing is that you own your vehicle once you finish making payments. This does give you flexibility, especially when selling your vehicle, so that you can recover the remaining equity and really do whatever you want with it, like using it as a down payment for a new car, paying off your credit card, or splurging on a vacation. On top of this, you can trade in your car at any time without having to pay an early termination fee or deal with mileage limits or wear and tear agreements. Finally, an added perk in financing your car is that you can also use it to help rebuild your credit score so long as you make payments on time. The main downside to financing your vehicle is that the monthly payments will be higher than if you were to lease your vehicle. So if cash flow is tight, this may not be a great option for you. Okay, let's talk about buying your car outright. If you have cash to do this, it might be worth considering. First of all, you are foregoing the interest rates that come along with leasing and financing. Although interest rates are fairly low these days, so you'll need to keep that in mind. That being said, there are cash incentives from the dealership which may make paying cash even more attractive. This really is a personal decision that you need to make for yourself and ask the question, could you use this cash for other projects and investments that would ultimately outperform any savings you might accrue from foregoing any interest payments? Now you might be wondering, does leasing or buying affect my insurance? It's a great question. Generally, there's little to no effect on your car insurance whether you are buying versus leasing. The only significant difference is that when you lease your vehicle, the leasing company will be listed on your policy since they're technically the owner of the car, and because of this, they will also require that you protect their interest with physical damage coverages. As always, for more information on buying versus leasing a car and all things insurance, check out our blog or connect with a big broker. We're here to be your trusted insurance advisors.